When you walk into the gym, you have two choices: train like everybody else or step into a level that most people never dare to reach. This is not about casual effort. This is about pushing your body and mind into intense mode. It's the difference between showing up and truly transforming. It's the decision to leave behind excuses and build a version of yourself that even you didn't think was possible. What if I told you that your limits are not real? That the barriers you feel are only illusions created by comfort? When you train in intense mode, you don't just lift weights, you break chains. You discover strength you never knew you had, because intensity is not found in your muscles first, it is born in your mindset. When you walk into the gym, the first instinct is always to stay in zone of comfort. It feels safe, it feels manageable, and it gives the illusion of progress. But true transformation never happens in the comfort zone. Comfort is where the body stays the same, the muscles remain untouched, and the mind never grows stronger. The moment you decide to step out of comfort, you face the resistance that forces your body to adapt and forces your mind to sharpen. This is the starting line of intensity, and this is where the journey begins. When the weight feels heavy, most people stop. They convince themselves that they've done enough, that maybe tomorrow they'll try harder. But those who rise above, those who create extraordinary results, are the ones who hear the voice inside whispering, "Go further." They take the discomfort and turn it into energy. They don't see resistance as a wall, they see it as a doorway to the next level of strength. This is why challenge becomes their friend, not their enemy. Every time you push beyond the easy point, your muscles are forced to adapt. They tear, they rebuild, and they grow stronger than before. The discomfort you feel is not a punishment, it is a reward in disguise. It is proof that you are not staying still, that you are forcing change within your own body. Without that challenge, there is no progress. Without resistance, there is no reward. And without intensity, there is no growth. Comfort keeps the mind quiet, but challenge awakens it. When you step into intense mode, you train not only the body, but also the willpower. Each rep past the point of comfort strengthens your mental discipline. You begin to learn that struggle is not something to avoid, but something to embrace. The heavier the weight feels, the more valuable the effort becomes. The moments of challenge become the lessons that shape your character as much as your body. Many people quit because they confuse discomfort with danger, but discomfort is the signal that growth is near. Intense mode teaches you to recognize that difference. You learn to see pain as a sign of transformation, not defeat. Every bead of sweat, every burning muscle fiber is evidence that you are building something new inside yourself. Challenge is no longer an obstacle, it becomes the path forward. Think of the gym as a battlefield. If you enter with a comfort-seeking mindset, you will walk out the same as you came in. But if you enter seeking challenge, you leave stronger, sharper, and hungrier for more. Intensity doesn't mean recklessness, it means deliberate effort beyond what feels easy. It means walking up to the weight that intimidates you and saying, "I will face you today." It means not running from the struggle, but embracing it with full determination. Every champion, every person who has achieved greatness in fitness has one thing in common. They trained beyond comfort. They didn't stop when it got hard. They didn't turn away when the pain started. They used that pain as fuel. They understood that the body can handle more than the mind believes, and they pushed until the body caught up with that belief. That is how challenge forges champions. When you train beyond comfort, you also train patience. The process is slow, and the changes don't come overnight. But each day that you choose challenge over ease, you add another brick to the foundation of your strength. Over time, these bricks build a fortress. This fortress becomes unshakable discipline, a mindset that no difficulty in or outside the gym can break. This is the gift that only challenge can give you. The beauty of stepping into challenge is that it reveals who you truly are. Comfort hides your potential, but challenge exposes it. Every set where you thought you couldn't go further, but still managed to squeeze out another rep, shows you a glimpse of your real strength. That strength was always inside you, but it needed challenge to wake it up. Without pressure, there is no diamond. Without intensity, there is no greatness. Stepping from comfort to challenge is the first transformation. It is the mental shift that separates those who simply exercise from those who truly train. It is the switch that tells your body, now we grow. It is the signal to your mind that you will no longer settle for average effort. When you flip this switch, the gym becomes more than a room with weights. It becomes the place where your limits are broken and your strength is reborn. Focus is the difference between simply moving weight and truly transforming through training. When you step into the gym, the distractions of the world often follow you. Your phone buzzing, conversations around you, worries from outside, but intense mode demands that you shut it all out. The moment you grip the bar, there is no room for anything else. Focus means locking your vision onto the task before you, as if it is the only thing that matters. That kind of attention turns ordinary effort into extraordinary power. When the body feels fatigue and the mind begins to wander, focus is what brings everything back under control. It keeps your eyes on the movement, your breathing in rhythm, and your energy directed where it needs to be. Without focus, reps become sloppy, strength becomes wasted, and time is lost. But with focus, every rep has purpose, every set has meaning, and every workout becomes a step forward. This is the mindset that separates average training from intense mode training. In the world outside the gym, people pride themselves on multitasking. They spread their attention thin across too many things at once. But in training, splitting focus weakens performance. Intense mode is about single, tasking at the highest level. It means taking all your mental energy and pouring it into the one lift, the one rep, the one set in front of you. That level of focus creates results far beyond what casual training could ever give. Focus sharpens not just your mind, but your connection with your body. When you direct full attention to the movement, you feel every fiber of the muscle working. You notice the stretch, the contraction, the tension, and the release. This awareness builds a stronger mind-muscle connection, which makes your training more effective. Instead of just moving through the motion, you live inside the motion. This is the essence of focused intensity. Distraction is one of the biggest enemies of progress. Every moment you spend scrolling on your phone, chatting too long, or losing concentration between sets weakens your performance. Intense mode eliminates those gaps. It is not about rushing, but about staying locked in. Your rest time is purposeful, your setup is precise, and your execution is sharp. Focus means guarding every second of your gym time as if it is sacred, because you know each second contributes to your growth. When focus becomes your habit, the gym transforms from a noisy space into a place of silence and clarity. You stop comparing yourself to others, you stop caring who is watching, and you stop chasing distraction. Instead, you become centered on your own path, your own effort, and your own growth. In this state, every training session feels deeper, more meaningful, and more rewarding. Intense mode turns the gym into a place where only you and your mission exist. Focus also builds discipline, the ability to stay concentrated for an entire workout, requires training the mind as much as the body. At first, it is easy to drift off, to lose interest halfway, or to get impatient. But the more you demand focus from yourself, the stronger your mental discipline becomes. That discipline carries over into life outside the gym, helping you handle responsibilities, challenges, and goals with the same intensity. When the weight feels heavy and your body tells you to stop, focus is what keeps you pushing. You block out the complaints of your muscles, the fatigue in your breath, and the doubt in your mind. All that exists is the goal in front of you. That razor-sharp vision allows you to go further than you thought possible. Focus doesn't remove the pain, but it makes the purpose stronger than the pain. Focus also creates consistency. When your mind is truly locked in, you stop skipping sets. You stop giving half effort. And you stop quitting early. You train with precision every single time. Consistency is built one focus session at a time, and over weeks and months, it becomes the foundation of visible progress. Without focus, even the most powerful training plan collapses. With focus, even a simple plan creates extraordinary results. In intense mode, focus is not a choice. It is the core. It is the state of mind that keeps you fully present in the moment, fully connected with the work, and fully committed to the result. Focus transforms effort into mastery and turns the gym into more than a workout. It becomes the sharpening ground of the mind and body together. Every rep in the gym is a choice between moving with intention or moving without meaning. Too often, people go through their sets as if they are just checking boxes, rushing through movements to say they finished. But intense mode is about treating each rep as the foundation of your transformation. It is not just a lift. It is a statement to yourself that you are fully committed to the process. Every rep counts, and when you understand that, your training takes on a new level of seriousness. When you perform a rep with precision, your muscles respond differently. The tension is deeper, the contraction is stronger, and the growth becomes undeniable. Sloppy reps do nothing but waste energy, but a focused rep builds strength that lasts. This is why intense mode demands that you see each repetition as an opportunity to build the body you envision. Every rep is a building block that cannot be replaced. People often think that only the final rep of a set matters, the one where they push past failure. But in reality, every rep before that is what prepares you for the challenge at the end. Each one sets the stage, each one lays the groundwork, and each one brings you closer to the peak effort. Ignoring the importance of the earlier reps weakens the set, but valuing every single one makes the final rep more powerful. Consistency is created in the small details. Every rep you complete with focus adds to a chain of progress that cannot be broken. When you skip reps, cheat through them, or rush them, you break that chain. But when you value every repetition, you build a rhythm of discipline that grows stronger day by day. Intense mode is about refusing to let even one rep go to waste. Think about how the body changes. It does not happen in a single rep or a single workout. It happens through thousands of consistent, deliberate movements. Every drop of sweat and every ounce of effort compounds into something greater. This is why treating every rep with respect is vital. A single rep may feel small in the moment, but it is part of a much larger picture. The weight does not care if you are distracted or careless. It responds only to the effort you put in. If you approach each rep with seriousness, your body adapts accordingly. If you approach with laziness, the body has no reason to grow. Intense mode means you step under the weight with the mindset that nothing is casual. Every rep is intentional, and every rep shapes the outcome. Every rep also trains the mind. When you force yourself to focus on the full range of motion, the proper form, and the exact tension, you train patience and discipline. You learn to control your body instead of letting it control you. That mental control spills into the rest of life, teaching you the value of being present and committed to whatever task is at hand. Every rep is also a test of your standards. Do you let yourself cut corners when the weight feels heavy, or do you hold yourself accountable to finish it the right way? Each rep is a chance to prove your integrity even when no one is watching. Intense mode requires that you hold yourself to the highest standard, rep after rep, set after set, without compromise. When you see every rep as important, your workouts gain intensity without needing more time or more exercises. The effort you put into each movement multiplies the effect. 10 quality reps can be more powerful than 20 rushed ones. This is why intense mode thrives on quality over quantity. The quality of your reps defines the quality of your results. Every rep counts because every rep is a step closer to the version of yourself you are working to become. You are not just lifting weights, you are building strength, discipline, and resilience, brick by brick, rep by rep. The gym is not about passing time. It is about making every second and every movement count for something greater. Pain is often the first barrier that makes people stop in their training. The burn in the muscles, the heaviness in the chest, and the strain in the arms feel like signals to quit. But in truth, pain is the body's language for growth. It is the sign that you have stepped beyond your usual limit and entered the place where transformation begins. Intense mode is not about avoiding pain. It is about recognizing it as the doorway to strength. The moment you feel that deep burn during a set, it is easy to believe you are damaging yourself. But more often, what you are experiencing is the breaking down of muscle fibers that will rebuild stronger. Without that process, there is no adaptation, and without adaptation, there is no progress. Pain becomes the necessary companion of growth, reminding you that your body is being forced to change into something stronger than before. When pain shows up, the average person stops, thinking they have already done enough. But those in intense mode understand that the real work begins where comfort ends. The rep that hurts the most is often the rep that counts the most. Every time you push through the burning sensation, you teach your body that it can handle more than it believed. You stretch your limits and expand your capacity for power. Pain also sharpens the mind. It teaches patience because you must hold on longer than you want to. It teaches resilience because you must endure when everything inside you tells you to quit. It teaches discipline because even though your body screams for relief, your willpower demands more. Intense mode is about embracing pain as the test that builds not only muscle but also character. When you avoid pain, you avoid growth. The easy sets, the comfortable movements, the reps that do not challenge you, they maintain the body, but they do not transform it. Transformation is born in struggle. Pain is not the enemy. It is the signal that you are in the right place. Once you accept this truth, your entire perspective on training changes. You stop fearing discomfort and start searching for it, knowing it is the key to becoming stronger. Pain also teaches you control. In the middle of a heavy set, when your muscles are burning and your lungs are working hard, you must stay calm and composed. Losing control wastes energy, but maintaining focus allows you to push further. This balance between pain and control is what defines intense mode. You don't let the discomfort consume you. You master it, direct it, and use it to your advantage. Every time you overcome pain, you add another layer to your resilience. The body remembers the struggle and prepares itself to handle more the next time. This adaptation is how strength builds over time. The pain of today becomes the power of tomorrow. Each moment you push past what hurts is an investment in a stronger, more capable version of yourself. Pain is also the truth teller of effort. It shows whether you are truly pushing yourself or simply staying safe. If your training never brings discomfort, then it means you are not asking enough of your body. Intense mode requires honesty with yourself. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Pain is the proof that you are on the path of challenge, and challenge is the path of transformation. Some people run from pain their entire lives, both in the gym and outside of it. But those who achieve greatness learn to face it head on. They know that pain is temporary, but the strength it produces lasts. Intense mode is not about seeking injury, but about understanding that temporary discomfort is the price of lasting growth. Every burn, every ache, every moment of struggle is the currency you pay for progress. When you push through pain, you also train the spirit. It is not just about building a body that can lift heavy weights, but about building a will that can carry the weight of life itself. Pain becomes a teacher, showing you how much you can endure and how much further you can go. In intense mode, pain is not a signal to stop. It is a signal to rise to the next level. Rest is one of the most misunderstood parts of building strength. Many believe that progress only comes from constant training and endless hours of pushing the body. But in reality, the time you spend recovering is just as critical as the time you spend lifting. Muscles do not grow while you are in the gym. They grow when you rest. Every rep, every set, every drop of sweat is only the signal to your body. And it is in the moments of recovery that your body responds by rebuilding itself stronger than before. When you neglect rest, you rob yourself of the very process that makes training effective. Pushing your body without allowing it to heal is like constantly hitting the gas pedal without ever refueling the tank. At first, it may seem like you are progressing, but soon you run out of energy, your performance drops, and your body starts breaking down instead of building up. Rest is not a weakness, it is the hidden strength behind growth. Sleep plays the biggest role in recovery. When you sleep deeply, your body releases growth hormones that repair torn muscle fibers and restore energy reserves. Without quality sleep, no matter how hard you train, your body cannot fully recover. Training in intense mode means respecting your sleep with the same seriousness as you respect your workout. It is the foundation on which strength is built, and without it, you are fighting against yourself. Rest also sharpens the nervous system. Heavy lifting is not only about muscles, it is about the mind's connection to the body. Each rep requires focus, coordination, and mental power. Without proper rest, the nervous system becomes fatigued, and your ability to push heavy weight or maintain good form is reduced. Giving your body time to recover restores that mind-body connection, allowing you to train harder and safer in the next session. When you rest properly, your muscles repair the microscopic tears that training creates. These tears are what lead to growth, but only if the body is allowed the time and resources to rebuild. The stronger fibers that form during recovery are the reason your strength increases over time. Without this process, training becomes an endless cycle of breakdown without any true progress. Rest is the bridge between pain and power. Nutrition is also part of recovery. The food you eat after training fuels the rebuilding process. Protein repairs the fibers, carbohydrates restore energy, and hydration supports every function of the body. Rest is not just about lying down. It is about creating the right environment for your body to recover fully. Every meal, every hour of sleep, every moment of stillness is a tool that builds the foundation for greater strength. Taking rest seriously also prevents injury. Overtraining weakens the joints, strains the tendons, and leaves the muscles vulnerable to damage. One wrong move under fatigue can set you back weeks or even months. Intense mode is not about destroying your body. It is about training so hard that you require rest, and then respecting that rest so your body becomes unbreakable. Pushing past limits in training is powerful, but knowing when to step back is wisdom. Rest does not mean laziness. It is not about giving up or sitting idle for no reason. It is an intentional strategy, the planned part of your training, designed to maximize results. When you recover with discipline, you return to the gym with renewed energy, greater strength, and sharper focus. Each session becomes more effective because your body has fully recharged. The balance between training and rest is what separates those who plateau from those who keep growing. Many people train hard for a while, then burn out because they ignored recovery. Their bodies are drained, their progress slows, and they lose motivation. Those who embrace rest as part of intense mode never stop improving, because they understand the rhythm of effort and recovery, of breaking down and building up. Rest is where the transformation is sealed. It is in the quiet hours when the body lies still that the true work of growth happens. The muscles knit themselves together, the energy is restored, and the body prepares for the next challenge. Without rest, all the training in the world becomes wasted effort. With rest, every drop of effort multiplies in power, setting you up for greater strength, greater endurance, and greater resilience each time you return. Mental toughness is the fuel that powers every rep, every set, and every drop of sweat when the body wants to quit. It is the voice inside that says, "Keep going," when your muscles are burning, when the weight feels too heavy, and when the mind starts whispering excuses. Training in intense mode requires more than physical strength. It demands an unshakable mind, a mind that refuses to surrender no matter how difficult the challenge becomes. Without mental toughness, even the strongest body will eventually fold under pressure, but with it, you become unstoppable. When you walk into the gym, the battle has already started long before you touch the weights. The battle begins in your thoughts. Do you let doubt creep in? Or do you step into the arena with the belief that nothing can stand in your way? Mental toughness means taking control of your thoughts, refusing to allow negativity or fear to guide your actions. Every time you push past discomfort, you are training your mind to dominate your body, and that dominance carries over into every part of your life. There will always be days when your energy feels low, when the weights seem heavier than usual, and when progress feels slower. These are the moments when most people quit, but intense mode demands that you rise higher in those exact moments. Mental toughness is forged in struggle, not in comfort. It is built when you face resistance and decide to keep going anyway. The mind learns to adapt, to grow stronger, and to develop the resilience that carries you further than you thought possible. Mental toughness also comes from consistency. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you are proving to yourself that your discipline is greater than your mood. You stop depending on motivation alone and start relying on the strength of habit. This consistency shapes a mindset that cannot be broken by laziness or excuses. It becomes second nature to give your best, whether in the gym or outside of it, because you have trained your mind to follow through no matter what. Pressure creates diamonds, and in the same way, Challenges create mental toughness. When you push yourself with heavier weights, longer sets, and more intense workouts, you are not just training your body, you are training your will. Each time you push a little further than you thought you could, you expand your belief in what you are capable of. That belief is the foundation of mental toughness, and it grows with every step you take beyond your comfort zone. Distractions are another test of mental toughness. The world is full of noise, pulling you away from focus. But in intense mode, you block out everything that does not serve your goal. You learn to concentrate fully on your training, shutting out doubts, worries, and unnecessary thoughts. This ability to focus on the present moment is not only powerful in the gym, but also in every aspect of life. Mental toughness sharpens your focus until nothing can pull you off your path. Pain is inevitable in the gym, but suffering is a choice. Mental toughness is what teaches you to see pain not as something to fear, but as a sign of growth. The burning in your muscles, the fatigue in your lungs, the trembling in your body, these are not signals to stop, but proof that you are evolving. Embracing discomfort instead of running from it is what separates those who transform from those who remain the same. Mental toughness also requires patience. Results never come overnight. Strength, muscle, endurance. All of it is built slowly through consistent effort. The impatient mind quits before the body has had the chance to show what it can become. But when you train your mind to accept the long journey, to trust the process, you unlock a level of endurance that few possess. This patience fuels perseverance, and perseverance is what guarantees progress. The environment you surround yourself with also tests your mental toughness. Negative people, easy temptations, and constant distractions will always try to weaken your focus. But intense mode means creating a mindset so strong that no outside influence can shake it. You set your standards high, and you hold yourself to them regardless of what anyone else thinks or does. Your strength comes from within, and that is what makes you unbreakable. Mental toughness is the silent force behind every great achievement. It is the foundation that allows physical strength to flourish, the shield that protects you from failure, and the fire that keeps burning even when everything feels heavy. With mental toughness, you are not just training muscles, you are training your soul to be resilient, focused, and unshakable in the pursuit of greatness. Intensity is not about how long you stay in the gym, but about how much effort you pour into every moment while you are there. It is the difference between moving through a workout casually and attacking each set with focus and power. When you train with intensity, every rep counts, every lift matters, and every drop of sweat becomes a part of your progress. Intensity is what turns an ordinary workout into a transformation. It demands that you leave distractions behind and step fully into the challenge in front of you. When you bring intensity to your training, you train with purpose. You are not just lifting weights, you are building strength, discipline, and resilience. The energy you carry into the gym reflects the seriousness of your commitment. With intensity, you do not waste time scrolling on your phone between sets, talking without end or half-heartedly moving through exercises. You stay locked in with your eyes on the goal and your body engaged in every movement. Intensity means your effort is undivided. Intensity also transforms short sessions into powerful ones. You can spend hours in the gym, but without intensity, your results will always be limited. On the other hand, even a shorter workout with complete focus and maximum effort can bring results beyond what most achieve. It is not the length of time that matters. It is how much of yourself you are willing to give in that time. Intensity is about making the minutes count instead of counting the minutes. The mind must lead intensity before the body can follow. When you step up to the barbell or prepare for a set, your mind has to decide that this rep will be better, stronger, and more focused than the last one. Intensity comes from a mental decision to give your best, no matter how tired you are, no matter how much resistance you feel. Each time you choose intensity, you are training your body to respond with more strength and your mind to sharpen with more focus. Intensity is not about rushing, it is about execution. It is about lifting with control, pushing with strength, and squeezing every ounce of effort from your muscles. Some people mistake speed for intensity, but true intensity is about quality. It means your form is solid, your focus is sharp, and your drive is unrelenting. You don't just go through the motions, you attack them with purpose. The atmosphere you create around yourself also fuels intensity. The music you play, the energy you bring, the way you set your mind before each workout, all of it contributes. If you enter the gym with a casual mindset, you will train casually. But when you walk in as though you are on a mission, intensity follows. You create an environment where nothing else exists except the weight in front of you and the determination inside of you. Intensity pushes you past the point of comfort into the zone where real growth happens. Comfort is the enemy of progress, but intensity forces you into discomfort where muscles are challenged and limits are tested. The burning sensation in your arms, the trembling of your legs, the heavy breathing, all of it is proof that you are working with intensity. That proof is what builds the strength and transformation you are chasing. Intensity is also about consistency. It is not enough to train with focus once in a while. It must become your standard. Each time you enter the gym, you must demand from yourself the same level of fire and discipline. This repeated effort compounds, creating results that others cannot understand. Intensity is not an accident. It is a choice you make every single time you step up to train. When you train with intensity, distractions disappear. Your focus sharpens so much that nothing outside of the gym matters in that moment. You are locked in on your goal, your breathing, your movement, and your progress. Intensity is a kind of tunnel vision that allows you to zone in on what matters and block out everything else. It is a discipline of the mind that sharpens the strength of the body. Intensity is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. It separates the average from the exceptional. The weight feels the same for everyone, but the way you approach it, with focus, determination, and fire, decides who breaks under the pressure and who rises above it. Intensity is the spark that ignites transformation, the fuel that drives progress, and the force that takes your training from ordinary to extraordinary. Progressive overload is the principle that guarantees growth. It is the steady increase in challenge that forces your body to adapt and become stronger. Without it, your body becomes comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of transformation. When you add more weight, more reps, or more intensity over time, you push your muscles beyond what they have already mastered. This repeated challenge breaks down the old limitations and makes room for new strength to rise. The body is designed to adapt to stress, and training is nothing more than controlled stress. At first, lifting a certain weight feels difficult, but as your body adjusts, it becomes easier. If you stop there, you stop growing. Progressive overload demands that you keep raising the standard, always adding a new challenge. This process keeps the body on edge, always working, always evolving. Without it, progress slows to a crawl, and results fade into frustration. Progressive overload is not only about adding weight to the bar. It can mean adding more sets, increasing repetitions, reducing rest time, or improving your form with greater control. Each of these methods places new stress on the body, requiring it to adapt once again. The key is that you never allow your body to settle into comfort. You stay ahead of adaptation by introducing new levels of challenge. When you commit to progressive overload, your mindset shifts. You no longer see training as a routine. You see it as a constant climb, a ladder where each rung demands more strength than the last. The excitement comes from knowing that today you will attempt something harder than yesterday, and tomorrow you will go further still. This mentality keeps training fresh and prevents the stagnation that causes so many to give up. The discipline of tracking progress is essential to this principle. When you know how much you lifted last week, you know exactly how much to aim for today. Without records, you are blind to your growth. With records, you can see every victory, every step forward, and every increase in strength. This awareness fuels motivation and builds confidence, because you can see the undeniable proof of your improvement. Progressive overload also teaches patience. The increases may be small. A few more pounds, a couple of extra reps, but over time these small steps build into massive results. The body responds to gradual pressure, and each increase, no matter how slight, compounds into greater strength and muscle. This patience separates those who chase quick fixes from those who build lasting transformation through consistency. It also strengthens not just the body but the mind. Each time you push beyond your previous limit, you expand your belief in what you can handle. That belief spreads into every part of your life, teaching you that growth always comes from challenge, never from comfort. Progressive overload becomes more than a training principle. It becomes a mindset of continual self-improvement. Recovery becomes even more important with progressive overload, because greater stress requires greater rebuilding. The more you push, the more carefully you must allow your body to heal so it can return stronger. This cycle of breaking down and building up is what leads to real transformation. Without recovery, progressive overload turns into burnout. With balance, it becomes the fastest path to growth. Progressive overload demands humility as well as strength. It means starting small, adding a little at a time, and respecting the process. Some want to jump ahead too quickly, chasing heavy weights without building the foundation. True overload is steady, controlled, and disciplined. It is not about ego, but about method. Those who understand this see growth that others never reach. Every champion is built on the principle of progressive overload. No one reaches greatness overnight, but by stacking small victories, by lifting a little more, running a little faster, enduring a little longer, they build power brick by brick. Progressive overload is the blueprint of transformation, the silent force behind strength, and the reason why each workout in intense mode takes you one step closer to becoming your strongest self. Nutrition is the foundation that supports every rep, every lift, and every drop of sweat inside the gym. Without proper fuel, the body cannot recover, cannot build, and cannot perform at its peak. Training in intense mode demands that you treat food not as casual indulgence, but as the building blocks of strength. What you eat determines how much energy you bring to your sessions, how well your muscles repair afterward, and how far your progress can truly go. Food becomes more than taste. It becomes the power source of your transformation. When you choose clean, nutrient-dense foods, you are feeding your body the materials it needs to grow. Protein repairs the torn fibers of your muscles. Carbohydrates replenish the energy lost during intense workouts, and healthy fats support your hormones and overall recovery. Every meal becomes an opportunity to fuel growth or to delay progress. Those who understand this principle never eat mindlessly. They see food as part of their discipline, a necessary tool in the journey towards strength. Nutrition also affects focus and mental clarity. A body starved of proper nutrients will struggle not only physically but mentally as well. Lack of energy makes it harder to concentrate, harder to push through intense sessions, and harder to maintain consistency. By fueling your body properly, you also fuel your determination and focus. You create an internal environment where your body and mind are both aligned to perform at their highest levels. Hydration is often overlooked but plays one of the most critical roles in performance. Water keeps your muscles functioning, your joints protected, and your energy steady. Even small levels of dehydration can cause fatigue, reduce strength, and make training feel heavier than it really is. Drinking water is not just about quenching thirst. It is about maintaining performance. The more intense you train, the more vital hydration becomes to keep the body operating at its best. Meal timing also contributes to intense mode. Eating before training provides the fuel to push harder, while eating after training provides the nutrients necessary to recover and grow. Skipping meals or eating poorly timed foods leaves the body weak and unprepared. Planning your meals with intention is no different than planning your sets in the gym. Both are strategies that, when done correctly, multiply your results. Discipline in nutrition reflects discipline in training. It is easy to lift weights for an hour, but harder to say no to the foods that slow you down. The strength to control what you eat requires the same willpower as pushing through a heavy set. Every disciplined choice you make in the kitchen shows up in the mirror and in the strength you display in the gym. Those who master their nutrition master a major part of the fitness journey. Supplements can support the process, but are never a replacement for real food. Protein powders, vitamins, and recovery aids can help fill gaps, but the true power comes from whole, balanced meals. Too many chase shortcuts, hoping powders or pills will give them the results of discipline. Intense mode is not about shortcuts, it is about using every tool wisely, starting with the food that nourishes the body at its core. Consistency in nutrition is what makes the difference over time. A single healthy meal will not build strength, just as one workout will not transform your body. But day after day of choosing wisely, fueling properly, and eating with discipline creates a body that reflects the effort. Nutrition is not a temporary diet, it is a lifestyle that aligns with the intensity of your training. The quality of what you eat determines the quality of your recovery. Junk food may satisfy for a moment, but it slows down the rebuilding process, leaving you weaker, heavier, and less efficient. Clean foods provide clean fuel, allowing your body to recover faster and grow stronger. Each meal becomes a decision. Do you feed your weakness or do you feed your strength? Those who choose strength repeatedly see results that others only dream about. Nutrition is the invisible side of training. People may see the weights you lift or the sweat you pour in the gym, but they do not see the meals you prepare, the water you drink, and the discipline you practice in private. Yet it is this hidden work that makes the visible transformation possible. Intense mode means understanding that training is only half the battle. The other half is fought with the fork, the glass, and the choices made in the kitchen every single day. Accountability is the mirror that keeps you honest in your journey. When you decide to step into intense mode, you cannot afford to drift aimlessly without checking if your actions align with your goals. Writing down your workouts, recording your lifts, tracking your meals, and monitoring your progress becomes the structure that keeps you disciplined. Without accountability, it is too easy to forget the reps skipped, the meals wasted, or the promises broken. With it, you hold yourself to a higher standard every single day. Keeping a training log is one of the most powerful tools of accountability. Each time you record your sets, weights, and reps, you create proof of your effort. That logbook does not lie. It shows whether you pushed harder than last week or if you stayed in the same place. Looking back at the pages filled with progress gives you motivation to keep going, and it also reminds you of the effort required to move forward. The act of writing makes your commitment real. Accountability also extends to your nutrition. It is easy to say you are eating clean, but when you track your meals, you see the truth of your habits. The small snacks, the missed meals, the late-night indulgences, they are all revealed when you take the time to track. This awareness is uncomfortable at first, but it becomes the very reason you improve. You cannot change what you do not measure, and accountability forces you to face the reality of your choices. Having a training partner or mentor is another form of accountability. When someone expects you to show up, you are less likely to skip. When someone pushes you in the gym, you discover that you can give more than you thought possible. A partner's presence sharpens your focus, challenges your limits, and makes every session more productive. Accountability is not only about writing down progress. It is also about surrounding yourself with those who demand the best from you. The mirror itself is a form of accountability. Every time you look at your reflection, you are confronted with the results of your effort. The mirror does not lie. It shows exactly what your choices have created. For some, this can be discouraging, but in intense mode, the mirror is fuel. You use it as a reminder that your body reflects your discipline, and every improvement becomes a reward for your consistency. Accountability is not just about noticing when you succeed. It is also about admitting when you fall short. Missed workouts, poor meals, or lack of effort must be acknowledged, not ignored. Instead of hiding from mistakes, you use them as lessons. Accountability teaches you that progress is not about perfection, but about responsibility. When you own your actions, you also own the power to change them. Technology has made accountability more accessible than ever. Apps, trackers, and fitness devices can record every step, every calorie, every rep. While these tools cannot train for you, they can provide valuable feedback that shows where you stand. The data you collect becomes a map pointing out where you are strong and where you need to improve. Using these tools wisely adds another layer of discipline to your journey. Accountability creates momentum. When you see progress written down, when you notice improvements in the mirror, when your training partner acknowledges your growth, you build confidence. That confidence feeds more effort, and more effort creates more results. This cycle keeps you moving forward, even on the days when motivation is low. Accountability turns discipline into a habit and habits into transformation. Without accountability, time slips away unnoticed. Weeks and months pass, and you wonder why nothing has changed. With accountability, every day counts because every day is measured. Then numbers, the records, and the feedback become proof that you are either moving closer to your goals or further away. There is no hiding from the truth when you hold yourself accountable. Accountability is the structure that keeps intense mode alive. It transforms vague intentions into concrete actions. It prevents excuses from taking over and forces discipline into your daily routine. When you live with accountability, you no longer rely on chance. You rely on evidence. The records you keep, the standards you hold, and the honesty you practice become the anchors that ensure your progress never drifts off course. Legacy in fitness is not just about the body you build, but about the impact you leave behind through your discipline and example. When you step into intense mode, you are not only transforming yourself, you are creating a model of strength, consistency, and perseverance for others to witness. The way you train, the way you carry yourself, and the way you stay committed becomes a silent message to those around you. People see your discipline, and it inspires them to believe that they too can rise above comfort and build something greater. Legacy begins in the small decisions that nobody else sees. The mornings you wake up early, the meals you prepare with care, the late nights when you still find time to train, these actions shape the story of your journey. Over time, they accumulate into proof that discipline pays off. Others may not notice each step, but when they see the results, when they see the transformation, they understand that it came from countless unseen moments of effort. Your private victories eventually shine in public, and that light influences others more than words ever could. When you dedicate yourself to your fitness, you set a standard that challenges those around you. Friends, family, and even strangers will look at your effort and feel the push to raise their own standards. They may not say it, but your presence becomes a reminder that greatness requires sacrifice. Legacy is not about forcing others to follow your path, but about living in such a way that your path becomes impossible to ignore. Legacy also extends to the next generation. Children and younger people who see your discipline will learn that strength is built through patience and effort, not shortcuts. They see that the gym is not just about muscles, but about character, about showing up even when it is hard, about pushing through resistance, and about respecting the body by taking care of it. What you pass on to them is not only fitness knowledge, but also the mindset that discipline creates freedom. Legacy is not measured only in how much weight you lift or how your body looks. It is measured in how many lives are touched by your example. When someone sees you train through struggle, when they notice you choosing discipline over temptation, they are given hope that they can do the same. Your effort becomes their motivation, and in this way, your fitness journey reaches far beyond yourself. Every drop of sweat becomes part of your story. Each struggle you face in the gym becomes a lesson others can learn from, even without you speaking a word. Legacy is built in the way you refuse to quit, in the way you embrace the process, and in the way you grow stronger with each challenge. Your story carries weight because it is written with effort, persistence, and consistency. Leaving a legacy through fitness means choosing purpose over vanity. Muscles fade with time, but the discipline you develop remains. The story of your effort will last longer than the physique you build. The habits you master, the resilience you create, and the example you set will echo far beyond the years you spend training. Legacy is about building something that lasts in the hearts and minds of others. Your legacy is also shaped by the energy you bring into the gym. When others see you train with focus, intensity, and respect for the process, it raises the atmosphere around you. People feel the difference between someone who trains casually and someone who trains with fire. You become the type of person who elevates the environment, who silently pulls others higher by showing what is possible when commitment becomes a way of life. Legacy is not built overnight. Just like strength, it is created slowly through repetition, through consistency, and through staying the course when others fall away. The longer you stay committed, the deeper your influence becomes. What may start as a personal goal grows into a movement that touches those who see your example. Legacy is not an accident. It is the natural outcome of a life lived with intensity and purpose.